Hello and welcome to 3 Times Tea.
A reality lover's favorite.
Yes, this is our second episode. In our first episode, we dissected season 1 and season 2.
Correct.
Very frustrating,
Yeah.
but fruitful. And then now we're going into season 3 and season 4, and that will make our episode 2.
Yay!
Before we roll into the reunion that's coming within a few days.
Yes,
Or
yes,
already
yes.
came, depending on when this is out. But yes. So season 3, again, we introduced you newbies. They always seem to be doing some kind of casting. So they give us 3 newbies. We have Maria, Slee, and Bali. So Maria is the one who is very, I think she fits the stereotype of what a housewife on
Perfectly.
such a show should look like.
Mm.
Right? And I found her to be she was exciting. I needed to know more about her, but what I knew wasn't really substantial for me to care for her.
Yeah.
I felt like she really kind of like fell short this kind of like season
Mhm.
for someone who has this look
Mm.
that, you know, I expect drama from her.
She did
you know.
bring it, but it wasn't from the beginning, no.
It wasn't from the beginning. So from the get-go, I needed to, she kind of like, for me, faded at the back of the newcomers in a manner of speaking. So yeah, what did you think about Maria?
Maria.
I thought Maria was like, she wanted to dethrone Sarisha.
Oh, she definitely did.
I think she came in there with like,
I'm going to show her.
Sarisha's not the only like hot Indian girl in the city.
Can I tell you that I didn't know she was Indian?
What did you think?
Maria,
she was?
ne?
I
Maria
don't
has
know,
a bit of like
man.
colored or
First
something.
of all, she looks the way she looks. Then her surname is Valaskasis. I was just like, I don't know what this lady is.
I thought she had Greek descendants. But then I think she's married to, or was married to, a Greek. So that made sense to me. But then rolling around, then we are introduced to Slee. Slee comes through Nonku. And the first time that we meet Slee, or the first really interaction that the group has with Slee is when she's invited to Nonku's house to meet Jojo. And then she meets
Yes.
Jojo and
then Nonku does that whole high school. This is my friend. And I own her.
the usual Nonku.
Yeah, one of that thing, it was a very strange thing because also when you're introducing people to new people, why do you say half the things that Nonku says? When I introduce this person and say, hi, this is my friend Louis, I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, even Louis didn't like you, but what is
And be possessive and be
And
weird.
he's stolen from me
Absolutely.
before and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So, you know.
Like,
But
what was
I
she
think-
trying to achieve?
Yeah, I think what was most fascinating for me when we met Slee was her background. So her background was she was dating this really prolific, rich
Football boss.
football boss. There we go. And she had been, you know, with him and she got left. And immediately after him leaving, he then got married. That's fascinating for me.
And had a baby.
And those kind of things. So
Yeah.
that was really fascinating to me because now we have a building block of something, you know, and she's a mom and she has this rosy thing going on. That for me was like,
Yeah.
we can really do stuff with this woman. I think they've got it right this time.
And she was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that woman is gorgeous.
Slee's face card never.
Even in 20
declines.
years, I don't think that woman's face card will decline now.
Never. She
Never.
is just a classic beauty.
With makeup, without
Without.
makeup,
Yeah.
with long hair, with short hair,
Sure.
with
Absolutely.
braids, without braids.
Absolutely.
She is gorgeous. She's so
Absolutely.
pretty. She's amazing. And it doesn't really take away from her beauty that she's this calm person when she talks. Or we thought.
No, it doesn't take away from her beauty. Thank you.
It doesn't. Like she's just it's serene.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, we go to the soiree where we meet Mbali. So Mbali first comes on as someone who was supposed to sing at Jojo's soiree. And Mbali sings Maskandi. And she's supposed to...
I'm sorry, not the
that song is...
song is
that song
stuck in my...
sticks.
Can I just say something about the song itself?
it's a chart.
When she sings it in a cappella, it doesn't work.
It doesn't sing.
It is
It's
definitely a song that must be sung with its necessary accompaniments. It sounds like a very nice form of Afro jazz. Jazz people, please don't bite me. But it sounds like it's a mixture between Maskandi, Mpakanga, and jazz. It sounds like it's going somewhere. It's beautiful.
It's a well-constructed song.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I loved it.
Singing it in a cappella doesn't really
Singing it like at the soiree of princesses. Hey,
it's just, yeah. So
it was bad.
We meet her and she's supposed to sing at the soiree and stuff. And it just, for me, doesn't connect because the two worlds that they're trying to merge don't merge. There's this princess soiree where they have dresses and they're dressed up and stuff like that. Then there's someone who's going to sing Maskandi.
In my mind, I thought they were trying to Africanize the princess soiree. So we're going to have people keying in their ball gowns. I'm okay with that. Generally, I'm okay with weird shit. Okay, I'm okay with weird shit.
I think it was just that thing of like, they always have to have that element of KZN.
And
in it. And it
Can-
So
Can
whether
we
it
just
makes sense in that scene, they want to
in
always
this
have an
moment, I would
element
like
of
us to
KZN.
just divert. Is it necessary now?
to always.
Do we need to have this is an authentic Zulu girl? Must we always fight? Because I think this is also where our problems with casting begin.
I think because they lost Lassie, they had to put that point because Lassie had a base. And the base was the typical Zulu people. So I think that they had to bring that.
No, I don't agree. I feel like they need to let it go.
Yeah.
It leads them astray more than it does any good for them.
Exactly. But then I think we in this season, we now pick up a bit of drama, which seems so more manufactured when they talk about, or when they go to Sorisha's opening thing, where they introduced Sane.
Hey. Okay, number one. Who is Sane? Because I heard news now that she was a journalist, she was a blogger. She is who is Sane in the, because also was Sane cast primarily to be a heel, or like what is Sane's picture
cast primarily to be a heel. And Sane definitely works in like the PR space and things like that. Yeah, I'd like to say things
For
about
me, that's when, again, I have a problem. Remember I said season 2 showed
But there was nothing
cracks.
housewife about her.
Yeah. Season 2 shows the cracks of, that's when they let in the violence in. I think Sane was violent. The way she attacked Londi at that thing,
It was
vile and disgusting.
vile.
It was, it made my blood boil.
It was
I
uncalled
was like,
for.
huh?
It also felt like she was waiting for them. She was constantly waiting for them to say something. It's like, say something so I check you quickly.
And also, I think she was looking for a moment.
Did she get it?
I think she got the moment, but at the expense of Londi, because then quickly rushing to when Londi opens up about the divorce. I think that then takes away from that moment. But had Londi not opened up about the moment, the divorce, would have gone on thinking that she actually took that moment. For me, I solely lay the blame on casting, on production for bringing Londi to this show. Sane to this show, sorry. Sane should have never been a part of this show.
I don't
It
think
is your responsibility.
Sane even needed a moment. Sane is just the kind of person who will say whatever she wants at any point in time. If she's got something to say about you, she's going to say it.
It doesn't matter if it's a
doesn't need
violent.
I don't think
not.
she fit here. I don't know why she was here. I don't know what she came here to
They
do.
wanted like
instead of just
additional
cause
drama.
It
and
was
It just didn't
disgusting.
work. She was just a terrible person to have.
It was a terrible, and I think it was bad for business. You're supposed
Absolutely.
to.
I think it weakened the franchise.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
really did. It fractured them
Yeah.
really bad, and they're still trying to recover from it. Not only that, but as production, you're supposed to protect your crew. You're supposed to protect your cast. We can't be at work with someone who is this malicious.
She's malicious.
Absolutely, she was
Even if
malicious.
the malice was intended for showtime, for the show, it was too much. It was over the top.
Hers was so
digest.
this is who I am in real life. No way.
It was
came
painful
from
to
a
watch.
really dark place.
Yeah.
And it's not okay to watch those things on a show that is supposed to be, like I said, I like a hunky-dory show with lots of drama.
Sprinkles
and
of
trauma.
drama everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
So I like that. But I didn't appreciate that. I appreciated, though, Londi then going to Sorisha or Annie's house and really opening up. Until today, that's the best storytelling. That's the best moment that I've ever gotten from any Real Housewives in Africa. She opened up and showed us really what was going on in her marriage, how she struggled with it, how she's doing right now. And I think
she was vulnerable.
left in style.
She was vulnerable.
Definitely.
She was
So vulnerable.
And the fact that she came back to tell us, well, actually, this is what's happening in my life. I loved that.
It ties into what I liked about her in season 2, how she was so vulnerable and so opening up and letting us know things about and honest about things. That's what I need to see from these housewives. I need to see people come to work and tell us what is going on. Tell us
Clock in,
Clock in. It's time.
What a hopeful person.
Tell us what's going on in your life. Be vulnerable about it. Give us a follow-up. Give us the middle.
What a hopeful person you are.
And they always consistently say, but this is my life. This is my life.
You're
You chose
lying.
to be on camera. You better give us this life.
Yo,
I pay
sorry guys, you're not lying.
Showmax every month. I pay Netflix every month. That money comes to you. So in turn, I'm probably your boss. You better get
Return of investment.
return of investment. I can be watching stuff that doesn't make sense in my TV. No. So that for me was it.
Absolutely not.
I love it for Louis. Louis is having his meltdown.
I'm having a meltdown because they frustrate me. Season 3 really frustrated me because you get nothing from it. The only time was when Londi comes and Londi shares that it was so beautiful to watch her really set an example to these ladies who've been on this franchise for 3 years.
Forever, yes.
And then she goes away.
But
with
also,
it.
please, can we just give a little shout out to Annie, guys? Annie
was
Annie's
really
growth from being like almost like a mean girl, and then seeing that she was a mean girl
Really
and actually
tried.
doing therapy and going through
And trying
the
to
whole
better herself.
motion and bettering herself and just coming out, a better person. I definitely
I'm
was
not
a
sure
fan of
about
her.
coming out
appreciated
better
it.
person because I don't believe in microwave healing. And this is what I must fight. I really, this is a bone I have to pick
Why
with
is it
Sorisha.
microwave
We
healing?
are healing.
No,
so
let's go back to Annie, please.
healing
Why is it
moment.
why is it microwave healing for Annie?
Healing of any kind is a process.
Absolutely, but
And
she was saying that she's in a process, and
I
I
am
feel like we could
doubting how
see the
quickly it
steps.
reps.
No, we saw the steps from Annie season 1 to Annie season 3, guys.
No, they're different.
There's a
And
very
there's a
big
maturity about
difference.
Annie in season 3.
Yes.
And I think also the healing
She actually is
depends on how
accountable.
deep the trauma is and how
Yes.
the acceptance has happened. I think she kind of like really did accept that she was a little forceful in her nature.
Definitely, and she was trying to do better.
And she was trying to do better.
And that her trauma is deep-seated because it has links to being from her childhood.
Yes.
So I appreciated that so much.
Yeah, she accepted
I
her
genuinely
she
appreciate that
accepted
so
her
much.
fragility.
I mean,
No, but
No,
God,
I
like-
was a fan of Annie for season 3. guys.
season 3, I think
Even
she,
how she tried to like mend things with Jojo, but Jojo is on this tangent.
Jojo
of
was
Jojo
screaming
alone.
at her.
Exactly.
Just leave
Like,
Jojo alone.
wow. And then again, they go to Drunkensburg, where I think that's where also like Joku was kind of like certified and all of these things.
Yes, as a Sasha joke.
I actually like Joku for to an extent. I think friendship is supposed to be about sticking with each other, but holding each other accountable.
Do you feel
So-
like they held each other accountable?
That's where I'm coming at. It lacks accountability, which is why I kind of like stay away from it. Because when you hear Jojo saying in interview, my nonko could never do wrong. It's funny, but it's also not funny because you backing up someone who's really
Problematic.
Very terrible.
And season 3 also just had this thing of like showing us Nonku was way more a cheerleader for Jojo, then Jojo was a cheerleader for Nonku.
And I mean, thingy called
And I feel like
you know what it feels like? It feels like Nonku watched herself and Jojo, they watched themselves
and then
they
they
realized they didn't like it.
How can we become
and they're like,
a better duo?
Absolutely. It feels strategized, that whole Joku thing.
100%.
With where I am now with the housewives. I hate a housewife who self-produces and comes and is overproduced. So an example of that would be what you're saying, like where you self-produce and you now, I need authenticity and I need real friendships. That
Joku
kind of
doesn't feel real. It feels like a high school friendship. It does not feel real.
That there's just one thing that's waiting to happen and then it'll decimate.
It absolutely. I'm really waiting for that needle that's just going to poke out. Oh, sorry, I mustn't speak about needles in season 3 because needles are so spot.
Right.
Maybe for them.
We need a needle that will go pop and just pop that little bubble of theirs.
Maybe for them they feel real, but because they are so aware of how people perceive them, they want to then say, okay, let us now color our friendship like this. Because Jojo honestly was like, I'm not going to die for anyone. It's me and my man, that's it. But Nonku was like, I will die on Jojo's hill. So now in season 4, she was like, okay, let me be more of a friend. Let me show and say these things as well, because she said these things in season 3.
While you are there, do you think that, because then we are introduced to RD, right?
Oh, the rough time, man.
Do you think that Jojo told Nonku that watch out for this guy, he looks a little suspicious? Or it was just oh my God, I'm so happy that you're in love. Oh my God.
I feel like it was oh my God, I'm so happy.
And where you realize that it was so, oh my God, is when...
Because that's why she
attacks Slee for doing this exact thing that you're talking about.
Exactly.
When Slee says, look, as long as you're happy, I'm happy. It becomes a weird, warped little thing about how you're not happy that she's in love. I did not say I'm not happy she's in love. I said I'm happy as long as this thing is working.
Yes. And
once
she
it stops working, I will be with you.
A friendship has to be, you can't say a friendship is when I must always be a yes man.
100%.
A friendship is I love you enough to say,
my friend, I'm not seeing this thing that you're doing.
I think it's not even about love, it's about respect. I respect you enough to tell you that what you're doing is wrong.
Thank you.
Or something like that. So I think also like, I didn't see the need for us to introduce RD. It was just really silly for me. It was just really no storyline at all.
I think they just wanted Nonku to have a
partner,
a shortcut out of Sfiso Ncwane and all of that stuff. So they're like,
Could
okay,
be.
Listen, she's not into this guy.
But let's go back.
Detriment of us.
Nonku made it clear to us that she's single and waiting to mingle. So for me,
but that's the thing. She had came out of this whole thing of like where she was like, I am so what is it called?
Monogamous.
No, where you are abstinence or whatever it was. She was like, oh my God, and she threw a party and all of these things.
Yes, that party is suspect.
It didn't
because
make sense to me.
You are having an abstinence party, but there's RD.
So it didn't make sense to me.
It was an alcohol abstinence party.
It didn't fit.
Was it not a sex abstinence party?
Was it a sex or alcohol?
I got sex.
Thing.
Was it sex? Okay.
Yeah. So with RD, I just didn't see the inclusion of him. To me, he wasn't a factor. Like, it's just someone who was just there to fill in certain gaps. I think the problems that I really had with him mostly was how he was introduced to the kids. He played like a big role in an evolving dating life of Nonku's.
Yes.
So it was very hard for me to kind of like, and also he didn't match what I thought Nonku is attracted to. But then again, people attract polar opposites
of themselves.
So yes. So maybe I thought to that, but I didn't see him as Nonku's type. But who has a type?
No, you know what? Every time Nonku has spoken about men and her lifestyle, she's given you the impression that she's looking for something specific. In comes Arti, who is, and even in how she names him, how she decides, the name Arti in and of itself will tell you that this is not what Nonku normally goes for. This is why she has to qualify it and say he's a rough diamond, right? So I'm not very shocked that she ended up with RD. I am surprised at how she just jumped right in there.
It was very quick and very fast. I think I understand the whirlwind of it, or the way that the relationship became so tumultuous and stuff.
So quickly.
Because it was such a fast relationship from where we were standing, from where we were, and also the information that he was Maria did say this. He was a scammer of some sort. He was in jail. Mentioning all of these things, those things would have made me hesitant to be like, I hear that you just you whacked baby dolphins at the sea. I'm out. Going to jail is a scale.
I mean, in Nonku's defense, he went on what he explained as a wrongful arrest because the case was thrown out. So we can't necessarily say Nonku Jozilele bandit. It wouldn't be fair.
But that was a storyline, so that's what we're gonna stick to because that's what we know.
We will stick to what we know. What I did appreciate was the sense of homeliness that he brought to Nonku. Almost like building Nonku into this proper family woman, seeing her at the table with the kids, both their children, her friend, her mom. It gave me a very warm family picture, which we hadn't gotten.
And I think it's obviously something that Nonku has always wanted. So she was also very quick to jump onto that bandwagon, regardless of the red flags or whatever. Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that picture being clear for Nonku. So I could think. Then obviously we saw the big divide in the group. We see Joku really being firmly formed. Then we see Sorisha, Maria, and Slee banding together, becoming a union.
Yeah.
And then that hyper climatic finale where the whole drama was kind of like put on. For me, I felt like it was put on. I don't think Slee beats people up.
I also don't think Slee beats people up. She's a very calm person.
I think Slee beats people up.
Oh.
I think it...
I'll tell you why I'm saying this.
Yes.
In Nonku's diary, she goes, so the Slee that they've been talking about, that's ghetto. That beats people up. She's finally here. I was like, okay.
But I think they know each other.
I don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I think they also know each other from a very different perspective.
Yes,
they do.
And I think that's why she got so frustrated enough to be like, Nonku, actually, you're doing me so dirty and I don't like it.
She was doing
and
her
that's
dirty.
why she was like...
Also, with calm people, and this is a horrible generalization, but calm people also reach their boiling point, and I definitely think Slee reached hers.
Yeah.
Without trying to villainize Nonku, I just think Slee had reached a point of what the actual hell is going on here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then, so fast forward, obviously, we see them trying to resolve this at the reunion. The reunion for me... Okay, let's get into the reunion.
Yeah.
So Nonku apologizes and acknowledges and says, yeah. And then the main issue that was there that was bothering Slee, that Nonku had said she borrows stuff
and is broke.
And is broke. And then Slee does mention something she mentions in this current season 4, where she says, you know where I've came from, you know how hard it has been to recover from what just happened to me, but you mentioning this. And then Nonku apologizes and they're like, oh, for the sake of our daughters, we can coexist. And then Slee, for me, this was a point where I was like, okay, Slee accepts the apology. Sorisha says, I also have receipts where you have borrowed from people. I could take out those receipts and stuff. And then Slee says, oh, no, let's not do that and stuff. Nonku insists we should, because this is my reputation. This is my brand. She said, this is my brand and stuff. I think, first I want to hear what you guys think about that, because I have a theory that I am holding.
But Sorisha saying that she's got the receipts?
About the apology and it being accepted by Slee. What did you feel like the apology was, number one, genuine? Did you feel like she quickly accepted it because she wanted to move on? Or did she actually genuinely forgive her?
I don't think she genuinely forgave her because obviously she
Agreed.
carried it through to season 4. But I think because of the relationship she had with Unonku before, you know, it made her feel like this chick actually isn't really being genuine.
And then for you,
I also would not be so quick to accept an apology of somebody that knows such intimate details about me and my life.
Especially when you see how she's rolling.
You know,
in that
you
crew.
come and you drag me for filth, and then here you are saying sorry. To me, it didn't click. For why are you so willing to accept it? It felt a lot like Isandla sister to resolve the storyline for us quickly, please.
that's where I was coming. I felt she quickly accepted the apology because of the reunion host. Mable is great at asking questions and getting answers and wanting to resolve stuff. But I always feel like at reunion setting, he's so bad because he's not so, number one, objective.
Okay.
Number two, his style of questioning is very leading.
Very
So-
much leading
Yeah,
questions.
so he'll be like, Slee, are you angry at Nonku? And then Slee's like, yes, I am angry. And this and this and that. It's very leading.
Yeah.
A way of opening it up would be, Slee, what feelings do you have towards Nonku? I
And
would
also,
think.
but this is where now I must catch the two of you out.
Okay.
You've been crying about reunion hosts not being invested enough in the show.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like when a reunion host is
Yeah.
invested in the show.
I liked my
We
bird,
must
to be
pick our
quite
struggle.
honest. Yes.
I didn't. And I didn't not because he's a bad host, but because the genre of hosting that he came with was very interviewee and very can you inbox me after so we
You
can
feel like
I kind of felt like that because these women being this is me in my mind
yeah.
in the celebrity world, and I'm open to being corrected about it and also just being wrong about it.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that celebrities love being friends with each other for the sake of having
Celebrity friendships.
celebrity friendships, or being like, oh, he hung out with Slee, he was a thingy with thingy. Do I think that Mable was hosting with that perspective? I think no, but I think that he definitely would have had a problem if he had to have been spoken bad about by a certain wife after the reunion.
I think he would have because he's invested in the show.
He's invested in the show. He's a fan. So, and not in a bad way,
yeah,
because
I
there's
think
nothing
for him, he
wrong
would
about being a
think
fan.
he's
I'm a
being
fan, you're a fan,
objective.
everybody's a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here because we're fans.
We're fans.
yeah.
Being a fan, because people, whenever you say, oh, you're a fan of the show, they act as if like this, oh my God, you just put a scarlet letter on me. And it's like, no, but I'm a fan, you're a fan, everybody could be a fan. And there's nothing wrong with the fan. These ladies are gathered here for fans.
This is exactly what I expected from a host that is invested in the show. I expected this from him. So
You're bound
I'm
to
not-
have some
You're going to
sort of
lean in
bias.
some,
Absolutely.
An example of it would be how he shuts Nonku down when Nonku is trying to go after Surisha, saying, share the receipts. Then he's like, Nonku, we've resolved this and we are saying for your sake. And it's like, no, let these ladies sort it out themselves.
That moment should have been allowed to resolve itself naturally with Sorisha saying, here are my receipts.
Here are my receipts. And then Nonku says, I don't know who these receipts are. And it's a great setup also for going into season 3, because now we can know the capabilities of Sorisha. Sorisha is actually capable of doing that, because all season long they were telling us she's the villain. Like, as in like Nonku and thingy and whatnot. They were giving us the perspective of she's the villain. So we would have wanted her to what they say, what you like saying, stand on business and really
That's right.
She should have stood on business.
Stand on business.
and given us those things, because also the other part that we forget is reunion is a moment of catharsis where
Supposed to be.
It's
Supposed to be.
it's supposed to be a place of catharsis where you can also reflect and you can do all of these things and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think that resolves itself within doing that. So Slee quickly taking this apology from me, it didn't actually come from her wanting to take the apology. She was like, if I don't hear, and I'm probably going to be, they're going to pursue me in some way or the other.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I don't know.
Because she always wants peace.
Yeah, because why does she bring it up again this season?
If it was resolved.
Like
going as far as calling her label financially overstretched, it means, my girl, you still hung up on that thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think there's no problem with that. I mean, it's just the curse of it, like calling your things financially overstretched and all of these things. I just feel like it's just like wrong. Because also maybe because I'm very spiritual about stuff, it was something you were called, or it was something you had corrected after you'd been called something else. So carrying it on and stuff, but I didn't see any resolution when it comes to that reunion. We saw now the husband thing, Maria.
I think it just highlighted that whole husband thing.
Humans are not
How do you
accessories.
feel about husbands, Louis?
I think it's. I was speaking earlier to Maseko. I was like, it's connected to people thinking they own people, because usually it's hung on to, you said, stripping people of
the humanness
of humanity.
You are a thing to this person. You're an accessory.
And that's not okay. So the whole husband thing for me is so exhausting.
Yeah.
And I like intellectualizing things and really processing it. And where I arrive when I really intellectualize it and go through the psychology of it is owning people is exactly what this is. I could be friends with whoever I want to be. You could be friends with whoever you want to be. You could be friends with whoever you want to be. That doesn't determine who I am as a person, who you've become friends with, or who you are. For me, the argument doesn't make sense. I fail to get to a point where I could be like, oh, I see her side, or I see his side, or I fail to get there.
There is a part in the season where Ruan swears to Maria that I will never not love you.
Yes.
And then at the reunion, you are Auntie Maria.
But he never ever says that he doesn't love her.
That's the other thing as well.
It's implied.
But he never ever says that he doesn't love her.
And I could give it to him, what he does. The thing that, again, we come to the type of pattern of storytelling that's in this series. It's a story about friendship and how that friendship can crumble and can be split and stuff like that. The journey to it, because Maria says they've been friends for a while. We don't see that. We saw Ruan once.
And Ruan also refused that.
And he refused that in season 4 to be like, actually,
we kind of were not
only
friends.
Met up here and there. Which is odd, but anyway, I feel like maybe because they have to carry a storyline and they're going to say different things. So it is what it is.
So that's the other thing. I really just didn't, I don't get it. And then we have Sane being asked questions and then Sane's just denying what she said. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Sane could have ended that better. She really could have owned up to some of the things to give us a proper resolution.
But just because of the person that she is, that's never something that we were going to get.
But my thing is this, right? If you are a self-confessed mean girl and this is your true north, it shouldn't be a problem saying, yes, I said it, and then.
No, but mean girls
stand on it.
Stand on it. Own it. It's yours.
They do not stand on that, though. That's the thing.
Because the other thing is, she tried to gaslight even us.
Yes.
And it's like,
to be like,
are
we imagining what we heard?
But we didn't imagine it. Must we heard you say
the people you can gaslight is Abo Eni and stuff.
When we speak of Sane, I have a small little stick to beat production with. A very serious allegation is made about Sane not being invited to the final dinner because she actively threatened Jojo's life. I expected production to at least send a note through Maple to confirm or deny this, because now we are stuck with this question to say, did this thing happen?
In his ear.
Whisper in his ear to say, as production, indeed, we did make that decision. Or no, we didn't make that decision for the purposes of this discussion. Because now also, what if we're
Jojo
victimizing?
looks like a liar.
What if in this case,
Jojo
Sane
then
is
looks
not,
like a liar.
did not
Jojo looks like a liar.
threaten
And
her?
I don't think she was lying.
I don't think Jojo was lying.
Sane's
Past.
past.
Yeah, I feel like Sane should have just stood on her business.
And be a villain and that's
Be a
it.
villain. Go out as a villain. Go out with a bang.
No, carry on.
And then Nonku, it was a very frustrating reunion. Nonku is asked about RHOD. And then she says it's a court
in
case
court.
and stuff. And I have a problem with it because whenever like someone is questioned about stuff, once they say court case, we can't.
It's a legal process. We can't go on.
Yeah, we can't go on because it's a legal issue. And I don't know where she picked it up, but it's a great trick. Because she didn't get to she didn't get to
know what
answer
I wanted?
anything. And then she poured in a little bit of the waterworks and cried a little. And everyone was like,
Exactly.
"Oh, he really hurt her."
Half and half, and
sorry.
then it's done.
I'm not part of the population that said he really hurt her. I wanted Nonku to tell us that
What
he hurt
happened?
me by this and this and this, and for this reason, Kimo, luckily that scumbag. Say something.
Absolutely.
Win me over. Say something. You sitting there and crying,
was
child
very
of God, helps me no way.
It was very
And
dodgy.
they comforted her, eh?
Okay, girl.
But
guys,
it's like,
let's
okay.
rate the
Yeah.
season.
Wait, I have. Okay, let's rate the season, then we'll come back to the wives. So, this season, how many thingies do you give it? Oh, God.
I mean, I'm not gonna be too mean to them.
You would not.
I'm not gonna
We're in the
be.
same track. I give it a 2.
You are being very generous.
I am being generous
Season
with
3
my
does
laughter
not
because
deserve
trust
3
me,
stars.
season 3 is the last time we see anything that makes sense.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. It was a very frustrating thing. And then the wives, who was the wife of the season?
of season 3. Look, I just like how Sorisha
growth.
came into her own and she was just like to everybody.
I enjoyed her foot sex. I enjoyed her saying, I'm bringing all my pettiness today.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm holding no prisoners today. I enjoyed seeing
Yes.
Sorisha's means it.
yeah. I think
It was useful.
I loved Annie. I loved Annie's story. I loved her growth. I loved seeing her go through the process of really trying to resolve stuff with Jojo and stuff like that. So I really liked that.
Okay.
And who was the flop?
Yes, Sane. We don't have a
a picture of Sane, but it would definitely be Sane.
100% the
It
flop.
would be Sane.
But she's
The
not
one
a
question
housewife,
I
so-
have,
And of course, Mbali was also just like
the Mbuzo
she
I
was the
have
Makumalo of the season.
for my
don't think so.
Zwide.
Yeah.
Where did she disappear to?
She kept disappearing.
I think in my mind, follow me. I think Mbali was a wasted or a missed opportunity. Why do I say that? Too many housewives to tell stories about. We could have actually pursued Mbali's story in a way that is actually interesting. Mbali shared that she had lost kids. Yeah, whatnot. And I think that that's a powerful story. It's a story that we can actually relate to because I could never imagine, as much as we can relate to, I think we can relate to the grief part of it. I could never imagine losing a child. And losing it again. I think she said 3 times.
Whoa.
That is pain that is immense. That is pain that is life-changing. That is pain that is defining.
It is defining.
I could never imagine that for anybody. And she has this illustrious career. Why are we not taking our cameras, going
To set.
and thinking?
Let's go to
That
Mkoka.
would be so great.
Yeah, why is she not saying, oh no, let me invite Nonku to come to set so that she can see what I do during the day?
Yeah.
You and stuff. Why are we not following her in the studio while she's trying to
Record her EP.
record her debut album, Zwide, or whatever the name was?
Yeah, it's with them, man.
Yeah.
I felt like she hid from us.
I think it was because
she did hide from us.
I think it was because production didn't know how to use her. She's such a busy woman. She's on set, off set, in studio, out studio, or whatnot.
And she wasn't
had
around
they
because
used
she was so
those,
busy.
yes, had they used those opportunities to tell us about her,
It would have made
it
more
would have
sense.
made more impact. She would have been the star of this season. She has this boyfriend of hers who she's trying to get married to, but there's a boundary because
also
she doesn't
younger.
get along. He's also young. There's a boundary because she doesn't get along with her mother and stuff. Let's pursue that trauma. Writing that story in a way that we would say, gosh, that is also happening to me and my mom. Oh gosh, that is happening to my sister. Or whatever it is. They failed to use those things to market this season or to put these new housewives into the thingy. Connecting what like that moment which was set up by Nonku where she asks Saudi, about the kids and then you whatnot, connecting that pain because the pain that Nonku has gone through is sort of kind of not the same, but similar to what Zuide had gone through. That speaks to something because Zuide has a lot in common with these ladies. The way she stood up for herself at different times. I will die on that hill. I will die on the Zuide hill.
I feel like they should have. I have to agree with you. I wanted more from Mbali. I don't think she was a waste.
But I also the other thing I think also really lacked was because she's always consistently so busy, the story probably would have been not so consistent.
Perhaps.
But that was that. But I also liked the new Sorisha. It was really good. I think this was a redemption season for Annie.
Yes.
And
Loved her outing.
loved Annie. But yeah, that's season
3.